Have you ever noticed something that doesn't seem fair? The woman who replies the same day gets forgotten. The woman who gives without asking for anything is taken for granted. Yet somehow, the woman in her 60s who isn't chasing anyone, who seems completely at peace with the life she's already built, is the one he can't stop thinking about. So what's really happening? Is it true that men fall for women who treat them like they don't matter? Or is there something far deeper going on, something that has nothing to do with being ignored at all? This is what we're going to uncover together. The real psychology behind why self-respect becomes more magnetic after 60 than it ever was before, and what emotionally healthy men are actually drawn to at this stage of life. You may find the secret was never about caring less. It has always been about a life so full, it no longer needs anyone's approval to feel complete. Challenge. There's a version of this story you've probably heard before. Play hard to get. Make him work for it. Stay just out of reach. It sounds like a trick, and for a long time I believed it was one too. But somewhere in my 60s, I started noticing something different in the women men couldn't stop thinking about. It wasn't a trick at all. Now, apply that to a woman in her 60s. She isn't staying quiet to manipulate anyone. She has boundaries because she's lived long enough to know which ones matter. She doesn't answer every text right away, not out of strategy, but because she's genuinely doing something else with her evening. That difference matters more than it sounds. So why does that quiet confidence pull men in so much harder than any calculated silence ever could think about? A woman who turns down a Saturday dinner invitation because she already promised her grandson a whole afternoon of teaching him to bake bread. That's not distance. That's devotion to something real. Men notice that kind of devotion even from a distance, even before they understand why it draws them in. A 25-year-old playing hard to get is often performing. A woman past 60 who holds her ground is usually just being honest, and men can tell the difference even when they can't quite explain it. I think that's the real reason so many men find themselves drawn to a woman who isn't chasing them back. It was never about the silence. It was about what the silence protected, a life she'd already built on her own terms, long before he ever arrived. This is not about coldness or manufactured mystery. This is about a woman who no longer needs anyone's permission to feel whole. She was never playing hard to get. She had simply already arrived. That kind of quiet confidence doesn't come from nowhere, though it grows out of something specific. A life she built long before anyone showed up to notice it. A full life. I want you to picture something for a moment. A woman in her mid-60s sitting at her kitchen table on a Tuesday morning. Calendar open in front of her book club on Wednesday. A hike with 2 friends on Thursday. Sunday afternoon reserved for her granddaughter's soccer game. Nowhere on that calendar is there a single line waiting for a man to fill it. That's not an accident. It's the result of something she built, one piece at a time. Often after losing something else first, a marriage that ended, a husband who passed, children who grew up and moved 3 states away. For a while her calendar was empty in a different way, silent in a way that hurt. That kind of silence doesn't just disappear, you have to build your way out of it. Slowly, one small decision at a time. I've noticed this in almost every woman I've met past 60 who seems truly at peace. She isn't waiting around anymore. Something shifts once you've buried a parent, raised your children, maybe buried a husband too. You stop asking whether it's the right time to try something new. You just try it because you finally understand exactly how short the good years actually are. She joined a hiking group. She started volunteering at the food bank on Fridays. She said yes to a pottery class she'd wanted to try for 20 years. She finally read the books stacked by her bed for a decade. None of this was done to attract anyone. She wasn't performing a full life for an audience. She was simply done waiting. A woman like this isn't attractive because she's unavailable. She's attractive because she has actually made room for someone, real room. the kind that exists in a life already worth living. A man doesn't have to compete with loneliness to matter to her. He gets to add to something that already works. I don't think that's a small distinction. I think it's the whole difference between being chosen out of desperation and being chosen out of abundance. A full calendar isn't proof she doesn't need you. It's proof she'll never need you the wrong way. But building a full life like that takes years. What happens to a woman who hasn't gotten there yet, who still feels the ache of an empty evening that's worth sitting with honestly? Desperation. There's a fear I don't hear women my age talk about very often, even though I think almost every one of us carries it somewhere. It isn't the fear of being alone tonight. It's the fear of being alone in 20 years, when your knees ache more, when a doctor's appointment matters more than a Friday date, when there's no one in the next room if something goes wrong at 3 in the morning. That's a different kind of loneliness than the one dating advice usually tries to sell you on. It has nothing to do with romance and everything to do with mortality. That fear is real. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. But I've watched what happens when that fear takes the wheel instead of staying quietly in the back seat. A woman starts calling twice a day instead of once. She rewrites a text 5 times before sending it. She apologizes for feeling too much, then apologizes again for apologizing. She starts agreeing to plans she doesn't actually want just to avoid another quiet weekend. None of that is really about him. It's about trying to outrun a fear that has nothing to do with dating at all. I think of a woman named Linda who once told me she texted a man good morning every single day for 2 weeks, not because she missed him yet, but because she couldn't stand imagining the years ahead without a single good morning text at all. I've heard some version of that story more times than I can count, just with different names attached. That's not weakness, that's fear wearing the costume of affection. Caring and desperation look almost identical from the outside. They aren't the same. Caring says, I want you in my life. Desperation says, please don't leave me to face what's coming alone. One is generous, the other is frightened. Wanting a companion for the road ahead is not desperation. Needing someone to erase a fear you haven't faced yet, that's a different thing entirely. I think that difference is the whole story. A man can feel it too, even if he couldn't name it if you asked him directly. The fear is real, but it was never his to fix. Once you can name that fear honestly, something interesting happens. You start to see what real worth actually looks like, and it has almost nothing to do with distance or mystery. Value, scarcity. When I was younger, I used to think value came from disappearing a little, from making someone wonder where you'd gone. I used to believe that if a woman wanted you badly enough, she'd let you know quickly, and if she didn't, you were supposed to make her wait. I was wrong about that, and it took me decades to understand why. Manufactured distance is a performance. It only works as long as no one looks too closely. Real value doesn't need distance at all. It needs clarity. At 20, scarcity can be faked with silence and a slow reply. At 60, it can't be faked at all because everyone around you has already watched how you actually live. A woman past 60 knows what a good partner sounds like because she's already heard the bad version up close. She's had enough conversations that go nowhere to recognize one within the first 10 minutes, so when a man doesn't meet that bar, she doesn't linger to be polite. She says no, simply, without drama, without explaining herself 3 times over. She goes home and waters her plants instead. Later, she tells a friend about it over coffee, laughing already halfway onto something else. That's not coldness, that's clarity earned the hard way, through decades most of us didn't choose, but lived through anyway. Real scarcity isn't a strategy you choose, it's simply what's left when you've stopped chasing anyone's approval. I think that's exactly why some men can't stop thinking about a woman like this. It was never about mystery. It was about the fact that her yes actually means something, because her no clearly does too. Scarcity you manufacture eventually runs out. worth you've actually lived through, you don't need to disappear to be valued. You just need to stop apologizing for knowing exactly what you deserve. Now watch what happens once a woman lives entirely from that place. No need for approval, no fear of running the show, nothing left to prove. Emotional independence. A viewer wrote to me once asking a fairly simple question. She wanted to know how to become the kind of woman men can't stop thinking about. I didn't have a quick answer, but I have a slower one. Emotional independence isn't a mood you wake up wearing. It's not decided in one moment of clarity. It looks smaller than people expect. She spends 30 minutes most evenings doing nothing anyone asked of her. She keeps one hobby entirely to herself, never posted, never explained. She says no to a family obligation now and then without 3 paragraphs of justification. None of that is loneliness. It's maintenance, the same way you'd tend a garden. There's a difference between a woman who's emotionally independent and one performing detachment for an audience. The real version doesn't announce itself. It just quietly keeps showing up whether anyone's watching or not. I think the consistency is what men respond to, not the absence of need. The presence of someone who isn't waiting on someone else to complete her. So maybe the real question was never why he can't stop thinking about her. Maybe it's whether you're willing to become that whole, even on the days no one is watching at all. So maybe indifference was never really the story. What men actually chase is a woman who stopped needing anyone's permission to feel whole. A woman whose calendar is full, whose boundaries are earned, whose evenings belong entirely to her. That was never coldness. It was completeness, quietly lived out long before anyone showed up to notice it. If you're somewhere in the middle of building that kind of life, I don't think you're behind. I think you're exactly on time. Not because you're chasing something, because you already are. I'd love to know what makes you feel complete right now, with or without anyone by your side. Leave it in the comments. I read every single one, and I'll see you in the next video.